Okay everybody, time for a second follow-up video focusing on the Tarp, which may come with the hammock system. It's not mandatory or included in the basic Amok Draumr XL. It's a separate accessory. So this time I have the hammock set up and different to last time is that I got some pointers that the cord, the bungee cord which I attached up to the ridge line does actually have a small ring at the bottom, at the foot end, which you can attach to. So that's done now. Another tip, if you like, or an idea for you to try out is to, before you insert the pad, do all the trimming of the system to get everything horizontal and set up as you would like. You can sit in the hammock without the pad in place, which makes it a little bit easier to do the trimming and raise webbing on trees, etc, etc. So do that first, then put in the pad and go on with the rest of the stuff here. So that's pretty much it from this view. So let's go on to the Borg Tarp. So the Borg Tarp, again, as with all things that Amok produces, I think they are really clever in finding good storage solutions. So this package, it comes with a good a strap which goes all the way around, that keeps everything in place. Really nice. It comes included with stakes for storm doors, which will be interesting to look at. I haven't opened this up and set it up yet. So to continue with the storage solutions, if I try to get this thing opened up, just fold over the strap like so, and you see that in the lid you have a storage pocket which is closed by Velcro, so you can store the stakes here, one place, very nice. And as usual, the bag itself is attached to the rest of the tarp, so quite small risk of losing things. It's also convenient to have bags to store other things, like bags for your sleeping bag or whatever, to just use it as an extra storage space in your setup. Again, we have some labels. You can use this tarp in the Draumr setup. You can also use it for ordinary hammocks, and that will have this end and of course the opposite side attached to trees instead, so you have a more rectangular shape. So you have it's a multi-use tarp suitable for both the Draumr or other 90-degree type of hammocks, which gives much coverage in this direction, or set it up with that end towards the trees and we'll have a longer setup for normal ordinary hammocks. Again, everything clearly labeled and makes it quite easy to set this thing up. Everything is included, so you have your bungee cords, you have small carabiners, so you basically just throw the bungee around. Well, not bungee, sorry, this is a fixed line, of course, it's not bungee cord. So you throw it around the tree, clip into itself, and then make all the adjustments using line locks near the tarp, which was one of the things I changed on the tarp model which I had previously, or have previously, for the Amok Draumr version 2, which had a different type of line lock. So this is much better. You can get the tarp almost, well, as close as to the tree as possible if you have a narrow setup between the trees. And well, that's pretty much it. So you have guidelines on 6 points, 1, 2, 3, and on the other side 1, 2, 3, of course, in addition to the ridgeline points here. So 6 stakeout points and 2 attachment points towards the trees. And that's pretty much it. So I'll set this up and then we take a look at it. Well, I know it's hard to see from inside, but I tried to do a bit of a bad weather setup, getting the hammock fairly close to the ground and the tarp close. Well, it can get closer, but near to the hammock. And what's quite clear here from the design, the sides here are rather cut away, so you can get the side flaps pointing fairly straight down towards the ground and get them close in. The issue with this type of hammock is always going to be the head and foot end, which you can work on different ways. I tend to have a walking stick and place them as support and use them to put sort of this point at the best possible position above the ground, and then just tie down towards the stake tent peg from there. But you can get a pretty decent low coverage with this system, and I think really this narrow or cut off side makes it good to put down the sides as much as possible. Yeah, not much visible from inside, so we're going to take a look at it from the outside. So here we have the head end, and again, so just to point out, one thing that I tend to use is walking stick at this end to adjust the height to precisely where I want it, and then just stake out the rest of the line to the ground, which is much easier than just using it in this fashion. The closer you put the stake, the lower down the this end will get, if you're not using some sort of support at that end. So here I tried to demonstrate the storm door thing, I guess, to try to stake down the side corners fairly close. Of course, the challenge with doing that is that the closer you get, the more vertical the line will be, and that means that the tent peg needs to be more and more angled as well to not be janked up like so. And of course that means that the ground needs to be able to support a fairly shallow angle on the tent peg. So there's that. And as you can see from here, I basically placed the tarp line on top of the, more or less on top of the webbing for the hammock on both sides. And so on. And of course the inside will look a bit different, where you have a person lying down here and weighing down everything. So everything will be lowered a little bit here. Again, bad weather setup. Normally in fair weather I try to do the opposite, to open up everything, have a high roof, and to raise all the sides as much as possible to have more of a ceiling on overhead of me and enjoy the views. Yeah, okay, so final things. Again, tags and illustrations demonstrating that for a normal hammock setup, this end, this and the opposite should be pointing towards the trees. And also, I think the final thing, with neat little touches, when you store the line, you just fold it up and use this loop around the line and over the line lock to keep everything nice and tidy in place. Really nice neat solutions for a lot of different things. So there's that. So that should be it. The final moments from my first look at the Amok Draumr XL together with Fuel XL and the Borg Tarp. Just ending this video in the chair mode, and again, I know I'm trying to hold the phone / camera and it's too close to get a good overview, but it's really comfortable if you want to lounge, sit on a reed or something like that. So my back is leaning up and my feet are leaning down a bit here. Not sure if you can see anything, but really comfortable mode for being lazy and not have to lie down, actually, just to sit and read or enjoy the views. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video of the Borg Tarp together with my other video with the entire system minus the tarp, and I hope you will have many pleasant times out in the nature, regardless if you're using this to live in or any other systems. So with that, thank you and goodbye.